Hello guys, today we learn how to bind radio button list using Entity Framework in ASP.NET Core using Visual Studio 2022. To implement this, we have required SQL Server 2012 and Visual Studio 2022. To implement these programs, let us see how design look like. Like you have a Razor package and you have an option like select the implied preferred language. Then there is an option to choose one of them like English, Spanish, French, German. When you click one of them and submit the button, you will get the selected ID for that preferred language. So basically you have to implement this through the Razor Package Entity Framework in Visual Studio. Now let us. I have table LanguageMaster. In each table, LanguageId is a primary key and LanguageName, that is NVARCHAR 100, not null. So that is a table which stores the languages like English, Spanish, French, German with their ID. So when we select stuff from language masters, so I have like language ID and language name like 101 English, 102 Spanish, 103 French, 104 German. To implement this radio button list in ASP.NET Core package, we need to follow some steps. So let us start. First step is installation required of some packages through the Nuget packages like Microsoft.entityFrameworkCore.SqlServer, Microsoft.entityFrameworkCore.tools, and Microsoft.Extensions.Configuration. Now open Visual Studio 2022, create new project. You need to choose ASP.NET Core Web App Razor Pages and click on Next. Here you can provide the project name. Click on Next. Now you can see Framework.NET 8.0 long-term support and click on Create button. So your project will be created. So need to install this Nuget Package Manager. For installing this, you have right click on this one project and go to Manage Nuget Packages, and you can install one by one. Go to browser, select this one and install it. Apply. Then second, install, apply and accept. Then go to next, extension.config. Install it. Apply. You can see now package folder. In package folder you have three Nuget package has been installed like NVARCHAR, NVARCHAR, and Extension.Configuration. All have the same versions. Then after that you need to create a folder models. Then I have created folder models. Then you have in step 2 need to create a folder models. Then create a class to the command line of Nuget package. So here you can see Scaffold-DbContext, server desktop, server name, database name, trusted connection to that is taken. I have Windows authentications and TrustServerCertificate true, and Microsoft.entityFrameworkCore.SqlServer output directory, that is models. The sample DB class will be created in the models folders. Now copy this one. Go to tools folders, Nuget package manager, then go to console. Then after that, pasting this Scaffold-DbContext in this. Now click on enter. So here you can see build started, build succeeded, and your sample DB class will be created. You can see sample DB class, inherit the DB context class, and after that all the tables which have in the database which call as a public virtuals and gets a property of this so that it can be accessible in our projects. And after creating the sample DB class, this context DB context need to add in the container in the program.cs file so that can be accessible. Copy this, go to program.cs file. In ASP.NET Core Visual Studio you only have one program.cs file, so you have added this sample DB context based upon your database which have class has been created. You have created the sample DB class and add this context to the containers. Our main aim is create the radio button list. So depending upon the radio button list we will create a view model so you can see that is radio button list. There is one button and there is after button clicking you have a ID. So based upon the view button list what need to create, we need to create a view model. In view model what will be the properties? Let us see how can we define so that we get. Let us see, I have created a view model. In view model I have taken what you have required, then we need to define in the view model so that our achievement will be done. Basically what you have required, first you required a list, so it can be a list, we can list, and also one thing you will require, whatever you have selected need dash ID. So I first will define, like here you can see public integer selected language ID, means whatever you have select like English, Spanish, French, German, and when you click on button then you will get the selected language ID. So it will be stored selected language ID through this one, like public integer selected language ID getter setter. And after that need a collection for this list. So I have defined public list LanguageMaster, that is DB means table objects, and object of this, like I have defined LanguageMasters and getter setter. It will store the languages whatever you have from the database. So based upon the designs we need to design the language view model in ASP.NET Core pages so that it will be available in the Razor pages, so you can achieve like bindings and of bind populated like radio button list, and what you need to select that also ID will be, we can get it. Now go to projects. So our fourth step is create the view models. A view model will be created based upon the designs, what we need to design and what you want to populate and what you want to get. So go to models, right click, add class. You can provide the class name like language view model and click on add. So your language view model will be created here, and here you will define the getter setup. First one is integer. Basically when you will select, that is only one ID will be selected from the drop down list, so only need like integer. If you want multiple selection like checkbox list, then you define a list as an integers. Okay, then after that I have defined like public list. What is the list? Basically list for the language masters. In here you can see language master, language ID and language name. That class will automatically will be created, like you can see language master from the sample DB context when you are creating the class sample DB context from the Nuget Package console managers. So you will create a view model for this one. Selected language ID for the selection store selected language ID and list LanguageMaster to populate stored language from DB to populate the list of languages. Now next step is 5 that need to add the razor pages. Now go to pages and right click add razor pages and choose razor page empty. Now click on add button. So you can put the name of this razor pages like imply preferred language. You can put anything what you like. Now click on add button. So when you are clicking the add buttons, your razor pages will be created. Like one is .html and other is code behind. In .html page you can see page and @page and @model. Two directives are here. And when you click go to code behind page, that is one handler methods. In this page, in .cs page, you have a write a handler method. So after that, our main aim has to populate the radio button list. So need a connection strings to call here. So write here, write private read only sample.dbContext, then context. Then after that you will generate the constructor for this. So constructor will be generated here. Then we need a bind property so that it can be bind from razor page to models strongly. You write here bind property. And also we need, after that we define a public language view model getter setters. So this language view model, we have defined getter setters that can be available in razor pages. Here you can see language view model, whatever you have defined here. So I am calling. Then there is a get handler method. From this we write a code so that it can be populate like where language equal to underscore context dot db context dot LanguageMasters dot to list. Then there is a view model. We assign this value to this view model like language view model. Session name you can put here this equal to new language view models. Here we write language view model. Suggestion name language view model equal to new language view models. In new language view models we assign the like LanguageMasters, that is a collection. So here you have defined like languageViewModel, object of languageViewModel equal to new languageViewModel and curly braces LanguageMasters, that is object of the collections. Here you can see LanguageMaster object of these collections. So we will assign the value of this populated language to this, and then after that we need to write a code so that it will be populated. Go to here, this is the razor pages. Here you can see form method equal to post. Deep select the imply preferred language I have written. Then for each loop where language in model dot language view models dot LanguageMasters, here you can, that is collections you will get. Then input type equal to radio button, name equal to LanguageViewModel dot selected language ID. You need to write this one, whatever you need to select, and value equal to language dot language ID. And also you need to, in the case of radio button list, you need to put here ID options minus at the rate of language dot language ID. And then here whenever like also need to write one code, so that if a value is selected, then after click did not lose the focus. So here you will write compare, and based upon the value it will be checked, like language dot language equal to whatever you will get. So what I have selected the value, you can see model dot language model dot selected language ID. If both are true, then that radio button list will be checked, otherwise blank. Then for displaying name, here you can see I have written language means dot language name. It will show the language name and div is closed. This is the for the radio button list. After that I have write a button. You can see button type submit and submit it. So now see, run this application and see the result, whether the radio button list is. Now run the applications and see whether our output will be perfect or not. So I run the applications, and also I put a link like employ preferred language and click on this. So here you can see your label, select the imply preferred language and showing English, Spanish, French, German. That's good. Now we need to write a code so that whenever you select also you will get that ID. So for this we write a post method, public on post, like where selected ID. You can also take from this selected ID equal to language view model dot selected ID. So here you will get, and also you can write so that it will be show in the console applications. And this selected ID need to store and view data so that it will be available on the Razor pages. So I write this view data double quote selected language ID, and for in the writing in console you can write here like console dot write line selected language ID, this selected language ID. And when you click the submit button, your populated check radio button list will be clear out. So binding again we write that code, means this code, so that will be populated in after the post back also. And also we need to write a code so that whatever you have selected, checkbox selected, checked, again after clicking on post handler, it will be remain same. So only you have write like this one, like language view models, language view model dot selected language ID equal to integer typecasting, so view data A. So here you can see rebind the hobbies view, rebound the language view model was selected ID so that it can be selected after the button click. And for the showing on page, you can go to HTML page, and here you write a code like if view data not equal to null, so you can show here your selected ID is view data A. So now run these applications and see the results. Click on imply preferred languages. So here your radio button list will be populated when you select like English and click submit button, so your selected language ID is 101. We put like checked French and click button, so ID will be 103, and when you put German, your ID will be 104. So that's way we can implement the radio button list in the ASP.NET Core Azure pages in Visual Studio 2022. Main point here, some brief here, like whenever you design a page, and for designing the page and what you have need and what you need to populate, so we need to define a view model accordingly so that you can achieve the goal. Now let us see the sample code you can use in your project. Like uh, this is the view model. You can see language view model, selected language ID, and list of language masters. You can see here. Then this .html page. Here you can see there is two directive at the rate of page, at the rate of models, and here you can see form method post, that is the labels, and for the input radio button, for radio button list, simply you have write like input type equal to radio, and here you can see for each loop whatever collections that will be print as a list. So input type radio, name you can see language view model, the selected language ID. From this you can the selected value, and here value like languages IT. And also one thing more, need to put ID here for the radio button list options, language ID, and I have putting here one checks more for checking the checked radio. So language ID equal to model.languageViewModel or selected language ID. If both are same, that will be checked. Basically there is one value. So simply you can write here. Otherwise that will be blank, and for displaying the name, like here you can see language name. For the output after button click, I have storing view data A, and if not equal to null, you can print here view data A. And other is code behind page. Here you can write call here DBContext, then generate a constructor, then you write bind property so that it can bind from measure to view models for data setters, and defining language view model, that is view models I have created here data setter, so that can be available on Azure pages. And on get handle method I have write a code so that it can be populated language, and this language will populated in the language view models, and language view model through you have showing the radio button lists. And on post method, simply you can write like where selected language ID equal to language view model dot selected language ID. From this will be whatever you have selected will be here, and from here I have stored it in view data, and view data will be available on Azure pages so that you can display it. So this is the thanks for watching my YouTube videos. If you want to more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.